Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you doing? God bless you. The video that you are about to watch has to do with the continuation of the trend and how some shameless old people went out in Asaba Delta State to actually disgrace their families, their children, their community, and the people from amongst they came and they called themselves pastors and bishops. Now these people went out to protest at the Nafdac office in Asaba. Now it is not allegedly because you're going to hear them speak in this video. Now the allegedly here is that it has been reported that Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin has also threatened Nafdac to stay away from him, that they have no right to investigate his spiritual materials, his spiritual items. Recall that recently the Nafdac in Asaba Delta State went to Jeremiah's church and they bought, one of their covert agent bought the spiritual items, one of the waters, and upon inspection, after the pressure put on them by VDM, they discovered that the products had no Nafdac validation. Now, speaking about Nafdac and their approval and their validation, it was actually Jeremiah who brought Nafdac into the matter. Now, in this video, also, you're going to hear Jeremiah's lawyer speak. But then to refresh your memory on the whole issue, remember, nobody actually asked Jeremiah about anything. He was the one that brought Nafdac into the matter. He was the one that said that his products are Nafdac approved when he was introducing his miracle soap, the soap that could cure poverty. Now that the ships are down, they are beginning to sing a different tune and to tell Nafdac that they have no right to get spiritual items. I'm going to let you watch them, but first and foremost, let us hear Jeremiah at the point where he was introducing the soap and claimed that the soap had Nafdac approval. Don't go away. Stay with us.
People ask, Jeremiah want to use miracle soap, this one. Everywhere I wonder, are you not tired of suffering? Now listen carefully. This soap, Nafdac approved, Nafdac number. Is this soap? I am not from a company that approved the Nafdac number. Why I'm using it? Because my own to just send the word of God. I use it. I succeeded with it. Something you don't know, quiet.
So, like I said, that it has been reported that Jeremiah stormed Nafdac's office. I don't know if that is true and how much these people think that they have influence and they can, scuttle justice.
All right. So the news says Prophet storms Nafdac office in Delta State and demand that they should stop investigating his products and that Nafdac does not have any right to investigate a faith-based product. Nafdac, this was what I want to tell you. If you people have the power, if they're born unaware, more than let this man go without penalty, what I will do, you people will not believe it. First things first, I will encourage the whole country that they can start making products. All they have to do is to tell people that it is a faith product. Anybody can make water, anybody can make food that people eat, anybody can make cream. All you have to say is that this cream is a fake product. If this man does not get penalty for what he did, this is a man. It's not as if Nafdac just went on their own. He was the one that mentioned Nafdac first, that said the soap has Nafdac number. That people should come and buy the soap to cure suffering and buy his other products. He was the one that started it, though. Don't be saying that anybody started. Now he started. That's why I said, Nafdac approved miracle soap. What ingredient was used to make the miracle product that they showed to Nafdac that made Nafdac give them a number? Now where Kasala boss, we make them, they say if I talk, they go sue me. They can't sue me 1 billion. Now I do my own investigation and I found out that they have no Nafdac product. That's no Nafdac number one. And number two, what they said the product works for, it doesn't work for those things. Do you understand? They say miracle and healing water. I carry the water, go give blind man. The blind man no heal. I give back to somebody when no the water, the leg no grow. Do you understand? I use that for myself to cure myself from suffering. It don't work. So now that don't test my faith. My father no get connection. My mother no get connection. But I go frustrate you now. I don't want to say on this one now. Now my office when I storm, if don't be say when I quickly release this statement, so anything will make me my other plan before I never even execute them. People should not use me to play. So me, I know the year word, don't play with me. Else you're gonna learn, and for real, and you will learn the hard way. Make sure this man get penalty. Because for me, based on what I saw online, for you to say your team get Nafdac and you don't get, in order to make people come buy your product, it is fraudulent. I can tell the man is even a fraudster at the end of the day, based on the evidence that are online. It is fraud. It is big fraud.
Now, before I show you the protestation of the bishops and the pastors that I said want to disgrace themselves, listen to Jeremiah's counsel as he alleged or accused VDM of trying to blackmail Nafdac to punish Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin. Now, I wonder how that is possible if this young man has no point and if it is not true. If all things being equal, and NAFDAC, after conducting their investigations, and they found out that nothing, Jeremiah and his church are culpable of no offense. Now, why would they? Is it possible to punish somebody like that without just doing anything? Now, listen to the counsel to Jeremiah as he answers some questions that he actually struggled to answer. I love the guy, though I respect him, but just pay attention to what he has to say.
Well, let's talk about spiritual water for a minute. Samuel Eheseke is counsel to Prophet Jeremiah Fufeyin of Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry in Delta State. He joins me live from our studio in Abuja. How do you respond precisely to Nafdac's direct-to-general statement that your client's ministry is misusing the agency's name to deceive the public, and that there are no Nafdac certifications for the miracle water and miracle soap products?
First, I want to respond to the press release by the Nafdac DG, Professor Mojisola A. That statement smacks of persecution, vindictiveness, and has no iota of doubt. Personally, on my honor, I was in Nafdac office on the 5th of September 2024, and the officers and the subordinates of the Deputy Director of Investigation and Enforcement Directorate of the Nafdac Asaba office officially communicated to me that the supposed, the viral, and the miracle soap ascribed and as referenced in the DG's press statement to the press is not a subject of investigation of any kind. They communicated to me and with the representative of the church that there is no empirical, there is no conventional investigation, and there is no scientific investigation ongoing as regards the miracle soap, that they have no evidence whatsoever. That, however, the water, they have obtained the water from a certain global table water, which has no relationship with the church in all fullness. The illustration is that a certain vendor who is not even a trustee, who the church contracted, has a relationship with a global table water, and it stops at that. The church do not produce water of any kind. That vendor actually takes this water and bring to the church as a spiritual product and a spiritual item that is protected by Section 38 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And when you look at Section 5...
Mr. Samuel,
yes.
The DG statement,
yes,
I believe you agree, is superior to the communication you're getting from the Nafdac office. The question really is, why put a Nafdac number on a product that is not Nafdac certified?
The issue there is that the church do not produce the water. It is being done by a global table water. And
are you saying that the church is not concerned about the safety of the water it is selling to its members?
To some level, the church is satisfied because the global table water, they did in their communication with the church and to the vendors that they have a Nafdac number. One thing I want people to understand is that there are several narratives to the statement issued by the DG of Nafdac. Purportedly, there is a supposed complainant in the person of very dark man. I think he's actually pressurizing and blackmailing the agency to actually indict the church. And we frown at that. The church is a law-abiding church. In the statement of the DG, he said the church is not cooperating with Nafdac. That is a fallacy. That has no iota of that. I was physically present at the Nafdac office on the 5th of September 2024 with the representative of the church, and the church took their statement of caution. Two of the church representatives, in breach of their fundamental human right and their presumption to innocence and to their right to dignity, they were detained by the Nafdac office, right, where the Nafdac office have no power whatsoever to detain any citizens of Nigeria. You can see the vindictiveness and the persecution by Nafdac, and
Mr.
that
Samuel,
is what we frown at that. Yes.
Sounds a lot like you're saying your client is ready to fully cooperate with Nafdac's investigation.
But yes, we are cooperating with them. We are cooperating with Nafdac, and we have made ourselves available. Yes. So for Nafdac to say the church is not...
Can you confirm if there's a temporary halt in sales of these unverified products according to Nafdac?
Yes, the church, the spiritual leader of the church, senior prophet, Jeremiah Fufeyin, has actually said on several programs that the church do not sell any miracle soap. The church can pray for spiritual materials where members bring to the church, but the church do not sell the miracle soap. So I don't know where Nafdac is getting their evidence of miracle soap from. I don't know. And they communicated to us in their office that the miracle soap is not a subject of investigation. Everything, okay, all the evidence they have are...
Just for some clarity, you're saying the church doesn't sell miracle soap. Does the church sell miracle water?
It's actually the vendors, not the church directly. The vendors alongside the company who produces the water, who actually sell it. It is free. The church does not sell this miracle, supposedly, this miracle water.
Well, it's obvious that the church also cannot provide detailed information on the manufacturing process, the ingredients, quality control measures for the miracle water.
I think the
and for what Nafdac calls miracle soap products, and you agree that these processes need to comply with regulatory standards, and that's where Nafdac comes in for the safety of your members.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, but the problem here is that the church do not produce a miracle soap. It is a different thing. If the church was producing a miracle soap,
but there's the issue of miracle water. But I'm concerned about, Mr. Samuel, I'm actually concerned about the concrete steps that your client is willing to take to ensure strict compliance.
My clients, both the church and the senior prophet and the representative of the church, they are fully cooperating with Nafdac. It's good to give it. The step Nafdac has taken is even compromising their investigation, and it is a breach of everyone's constitutional right to presumption of innocence guaranteed by Section 36(4) of the Constitution. The statement by Nafdac is a media trial. It is condemnable. It has been condemned by the court in Ransom Kuti versus AG of the Federation. It is even a bias and a compromise step by the Nafdac. You don't issue statement when investigations on issues are ongoing. So the statement by Nafdac is not just one-sided. It is compromised, and the church...
It's a good place to live in, Mr. Samuel. We're following this story very closely. Looking forward to a situation where both parties can maintain transparency and accountability in the ongoing investigation. Samuel Hessekin is counsel to Prophet Jeremiah Fufeyin of Christ Mercy Land Deliverance Ministry. Thank you for talking to us.
Well, that was the counsel to Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin, the senior prophet. You heard him there, and somehow some person said that there are people who have trained themselves to be professional liars, and something that you have there on the internet Now, I began to think because when I saw him distribute that soap in the video I uploaded yesterday, compared to the one that he brandished, the one he published, I do not know if there was a kind of hurriedness to change the identity and the look of the soap in order to accommodate something that was probably not there before. Now, the question was okay, if the soap was not part of what they were trying to investigate, are they selling water? He denied it. Now, when these people have their website open and everybody who has been on the internet and you are interested in this matter know that there are so many brands of water that the church, Jeremiah's church, are selling. And they are not selling on behalf of Globot, they are selling with their names on it, their logos on it. And some persons have even bought. I don't know. Well, in the law court, he who alleges it is on the person to actually prove. So even though we have seen it, there is a way it works in court that you must prove that what you're saying is what it is. So, well, anyway, from here, I want you to now listen to our dear bishops and the reverends and men of God who gathered to protest against Nafdac's decision to ban Jeremiah's miracle water and what have you. Um, Please, you've got to look very well to see, to know if a member of your family is here. Somebody said you don't know what God has done for you. If you don't have a family member that is disgracing you or disgracing your family on the internet, please kindly look very well. I'll be back. Thank you and God bless you.
In Delta State, some persons have embarked on a demonstration to the Asaba office of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration Control, calling on the agency to refrain from what they call attack on the senior prophet of Christ Mercyland Deliverance Ministry, Jeremiah Fufeyin, over his spiritual products. Ikenamechi has more.
The protesters defied the heavy downpour to come to the office of the regulating agency to register their displeasure on what they termed unnecessary attacks on the clergyman who they say have done nothing wrong. The inscriptions on their placards clearly send the message to Nafdac demanding a stop to the agency's position on the matter.
What affects one affects all. So that tomorrow I won't be in my church probably administering communion or using water during programs or using oil, and we hear that Nafdac has swooped on us. Nafdac, you will respect the spiritual side of our society.
What is happening, it looks like victimization, because I know that there has not been any report that those who are making use of it have died. Otherwise, then the Nafdac shouldn't have closed down the factory and everything that concerns his ministry.
These clergymen believe there is no reason for the agency to delve into the regulation of spiritual items.
I see what is happening to brother Jeremiah as a victimization. We use water in our houses, from a borehole, from a well. Do we obtain Nafdac approval before we use them? You can see, this is pure victimization.
Spiritual water, if you have said it's spiritual water and is being used, is using it for his spiritual work, then it has nothing to do with it. It's not within the confines of Nafdac regulation.
The Nafdac's Director General, Professor Mojishola Adedeye, had said Christ Mercyland Delivery Ministries, led by Prophet Jeremiah Fufeyin, is using the agency's name to deceive the unsuspecting public, saying none of the products, Miracle and Healing Water, River Jordan Water, among others, were registered with Nafdac, advising the public to stop patronizing any of the miracle products. Ikenna Amechi, TVC News, Asaba.
All right, while I try to round off this now. Now, from the last speaker, you get, to every one of them, you get to know the kind of churches that you probably have been a member of all these years. All right. Now, the other one was asking, we have boreholes in our houses. Do we need Nafdac number to use them? You don't have to. You don't have the need of Nafdac number to use them. But when you sink a borehole in your house and you want to start the production of pure water, that which you want to dispense to the public, now it is on you to prove that you are not trying to poison the entire populace. Now, what you use in your house, what you consume in your house, is strictly your business. Now, but when you bring it to commercialize, when it becomes an avenue, for commerce. Now, if it has to do with something that people gulp down, there is always going to be quality control. And so that is simply what they are, talking about. Now, when you see people who bend the rule just because of their own interest, then you begin to ask yourself, what kind of society do we have? Now, the other one said, if it touches one, if it affects one, it affects all. Now, he is basically here to protect his own interest because he also probably is in the business of selling water and selling oil. It is very important we also know, mention that Jeremiah is not the only person doing this. This has become, a booming business for a lot of people. Now, a 50 cl of that water, 75 cl of the plastic, the PET, bottled water is not. I don't think the cost is more than 200 naira, but they sell it in thousands. They sell it up to 3,000. It is in dollars that Jeremiah sells his own. So that is a very big business, lucrative one at that. And the other one, and he went ahead to say, if he said it's a spiritual thing, the government has no need to come in. No, the government is not actually investigating the spiritual aspect. The government, Nafdac, is investigating the safety of the people of Nigeria gulping these things down. Now, the other one was saying it has never been reported that anybody drank from the water and died. So we wait for until somebody drank it and died. And how will you even know? How do you know? If there has been anybody who has taken the water and died. I remember interviewing Akewi the other time when he said they were producing the blood of Jesus as in sachet pure water, nothing, no filtering, no treatment. They just filled the water in sachet and they took it to their branches in both in Edo and in Ondo State. And people will just be falling over themselves to buy these things because it is coming from the senior prophet. And that is the same thing. So we are at a point where people are no longer there for Christ, they are there for themselves, and these people have come just to protect their interests. And again, to be in the good book of the billionaire prophet, because nothing goes for nothing, and who even knows if some motivation went out, and it was easy for them to mobilize some of their poor members to come out and carry placards and using them like that, enslaving them. Anyways, that is it. In case you do not understand, there is no such thing as spiritual items. Jesus did not sell anyone. The apostles did not sell anyone. Now, there is no place in the Bible where it is stipulated that you should use these things. And if you think that that was what God told you to do, I do not think that Ayo Babalola sold his own water. In fact, I believe he told people to come with their own water from homes. He never collected money for those things. But these people have found an avenue to make the people enrich themselves, with the proceeds from these things, and they claim it is working. I'm not here to dispute whether it is working or not, whether it is working or whether it is not working. My question has been, if what you said, because Jeremiah claimed that those things were ordinary, but for what he spoke into them that made them powerful, why not speak directly into the lives of the people without giving them water? Just directly go ahead. Speak that thing you spoke into the water, into the soap, into the mats, into the apple, into the perfume, into the oil, into all the kinds of things you're selling, towel and what have you, bangles. Speak the same word directly into the people's lives, and it will be more effective in their lives directly than having to speak to matters. Then you sell it to them to make gains. Let it be proven that you have authority in your mouth, that God answers your prayers. If the Lord is answering your prayers, you don't need those mediums. Just say those words Speak directly to the people's lives, and let God be glorified. Well, anyway, thank you, everybody. That is where we have come to the end of the video. Let's know what you think about it. Please like, share, and put your comments in the comment section. I will see you in the next video. Till then, from me to you, shalom.